Hello, you, and welcome to Positive Chaos Podcast.
One, two, three, let's go!
My name is Hanna Lishankova. I'm from Czech Republic, and because I travel all over Europe, I met so many incredible people. One of them is my friend Nico from Germany, and he's incredibly talented music teacher. In this episode, we will talk about why he had to sleep in a car in Tenerife and the unbelievable thing he saw in a river in India. You need to hear this story, trust me. And that's just the beginning. There is a lot of to be excited for. And by the way, I'm sorry for my English, it's my second language, so please be nice. And let's dive in.
How are you today?
I'm great, Hannah.
Can you tell or how we met? It's a
Sure.
Yeah, okay. It's a beautiful story.
We met in a beautiful country called Spain on a
My
very
favorite
wonderful
one.
Yes, it's an incredible island. We were both staying in a hostel in the north of the island called Tenerife. It was a wonderful sunny afternoon. No.
It's like a fairy tale. How did we met?
How was it? Yeah. And I was staying at this hostel, and I wanted to go to Tenerife to see a lot of the island and experience a lot of things and have nice encounters, meet nice people. But I really enjoyed the place, so I just stayed there the whole time.
It was Puerto de la Cruz, right?
Yes.
That was the city.
Yes.
Yeah, it was my favorite city from Tenerife
Yes.
because I also have a beautiful memories from that part of island. I really like the nature there, and it was really green, the parks, the beach, and yeah, it was really beautiful part of the island. And I was also exploring another city, which was La Laguna, nearby the Santa Cruz, and that was not as beautiful as in Puerto. It was also because of the weather, I have to be honest, like because I'm addicted on the sun. There was like not that much sun. It was as in Puerto. It was much more colder, even if it's just like 1 hour from Puerto. That was much more colder than there. So it was like the difference between those cities was like, I don't know, 5 degrees, maybe more. It was super cold. I wasn't ready for this. So.
Yes, definitely. The temperature on the whole island was crazy.
It was
different
changing.
all about the place. Yeah.
Yes.
This is why I liked our place really much, because it was very warm. It was very close to the beach. It was not a big city.
Mm-hmm.
It was very like family feeling.
Yes.
And the beaches around were very beautiful with the stone, with a black rock. It was a very nice space to just relax. You could run, you could do sports. Everything was there.
Yeah.
So, and this is where I was just sitting there after a long adventurous day. Maybe I just also sat the whole day at the couch and enjoyed the sun.
On the rooftop.
Remember. Yes, on the rooftop, right. We had this rooftop place. Yeah, and then I just saw you walking by, and
yeah, you also was with Ludi, with a girl from Italy, and you explored with her something, right? First, and then we met.
I think so. I met Ludi. She was in the room the day before, and she just arrived, and I was saying, "Hi, how are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
And in the morning we went like to near the place we went when we were with her, and just sat there. Where did this picture of you?
Yes.
And we went there in the morning. We had like some breakfast, and then in the afternoon, I saw you walking by, and you were just going there, and I was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And then I remember that you were like so excited about your surfing day. And,
Yeah, that was after my surfing day.
yeah, I was so impressed because you were like so full of energy and so happy. And like,
That's very
my
me.
God, it was the best thing I've ever done with my life. And I'm like, wow.
That's energy.
That was a lot of energy. It was very nice. It was very refreshing. It was very
That's very me.
really enjoyable. Yeah.
Positive chaos. That's
Yes.
me.
Yes. Yeah.
That's.
It fits perfect. Yeah. I don't remember what was the first thing we did. Was it with Ludi?
It was in the same day when we met because you already had the car, or didn't you? Please
I was-
tell them how this happened.
So I was staying in this place, and I always like was extending from day to day, doing one more day and then one more day.
For how many days we were there?
I think for 10 or 8, 9, 10 days or something in total. And in the end, I couldn't extend anymore because the whole island was completely booked. There was no space left. Not
Because it was before the New Year.
New Year, yes. And people were very there.
Yes.
You could say that. And yes, so I booked a car instead and had some experience sleeping in the car. And so I thought, why not both? You know, then I had a car and I could sleep in the car and I could like explore the island by myself. And I have, well, 2 in 1, and it was a very nice decision actually. Always could like go for cool places where I had a like nice view in the evening or in the morning to sleep. You have to get used to it, but it's something you can teach yourself a little bit. Sleeping in uncomfortable places, I would say, is a very great thing to learn in your life.
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
It's in Tenerife. It's hot.
Yeah, I think it's also for everyone. It's a nice thing to try out, you know, because no matter where you live, there are always like nice places nearby. You know, people are so focused on seeing the other parts of the world, while there are so many nice places not too far away.
Yes.
Depending, of course, on how cold it gets at night, you need a few blankets. I think it's a mistake people do only once, sleeping with too few blankets. It's not cool. It's not cool.
What does it mean?
Like
it's cold?
It's cold. You can't sleep. You know, you're like under your blanket and you're freezing, and you're like, when is this night ending? I want to start today. Yeah, that's not good. So I always think to have enough blankets if you want to try that. Because there's also can also be quite saddening if you always feel unhappy wherever you are. You know, if you always in Germany we have this name for it. Actually, it's called Fernweh, which means like a love pain for something which is far, far, far away. You know, like I Fernweh for beach or like for warm weather. You know, and
Sun.
yes, sun, exactly. And I think it's very important that we combine both words in some way, that we are able to find peace and be happy where we are, but also have the courage to see new things, let go of old things, of course, learning new things, and letting go of that which you don't need anymore. Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree with this because no one's struggling between like this kind of thing, because I know I get used to live somehow, some way. But right now I decided to try another way, which I don't know how it's gonna work and how it's gonna be, if it's a good choice, if it's not. But I just, how can I know if I wouldn't try it? So can I lose something? This is the question what I'm asking all the time, if I want to do something what is uncomfortable and something what is what is far out of my comfort zone, and I'm asking every time myself, like, if I can lose something or I can learn something. Yeah, I every time I do it anyway. So yeah, I really like going out from my comfort zone. Yeah,
Great.
because every time I'm learning something, every time.
It's also the thing which is, I think, the most important thing with all of that is also understanding what makes you get up and do it. This is the most important thing, because I met a lot of people who's saying, I'm trying to leave my comfort zone, I'm trying to leave my comfort zone, but you're always in conflict with that. You know, there's always this part of you who doesn't want, and you're always
And
beating
holding you back.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. You're always beating yourself to do it, but it's always that part of you doesn't go away. You know,
and you are stuck.
You're stuck.
And then,
right?
yeah,
Yes,
you have to do the decision and just do it.
right. But also, how can you get yourself to that decision? This is far more important than just saying, I'm trying to
Yes.
get a better life. I'm trying to I want to do this, and I want to, for example, I want to live a very disciplined life and do this every day. But how can you spark that interest in you, that you do it without that conflict? Because I think it's possible without the conflict, and because there are so many people, they are living in this self humiliation, always going like beating themselves to do things, beating themselves to do things, beating themselves to do things. But it's most people would probably say they have some form of inner child, and you can't beat your child to do things. You know, we're both educators, and you have to find out what makes you interest in that. And if you have interest in something, I would even say there's no need for this whole level of comfort zone, because the question is, how can you, if you know how to get that spark in you, there's no need to say, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to
just
do
motivating myself or
Yes.
them or other people.
Yes.
Yes.
Like children don't need, or especially in children, you see how they learn things and get into things without needing to someone saying them, do this, do that, and so on. I saw a very interesting video of like a small kid who was like 5 or 6 years old, and he's like has like an incredible music setup at home and very technical, and he's like, it's very crazy. He's like 5 or 6 years old, and he knows so much about music. You know, he's so informed about everything, and he records his instrument. He says, okay, I'm gonna take the equalizer there, do it a little slow down there. And you know, listening to him, nobody told him to do it. You know, he's just so interested by himself in all this. You know, he doesn't say, oh, I need to get up and do music now, but he does it before the thought even is there.
Yes.
You know, and I think this should be the goal of things. You know, not beating yourself to do more and more and more, but asking yourself, how can
I be better? And like in this kind of things, what really inspiring me and motivating me.
Yes. What is that which moves you to do that which you want to do, which you want to experience, which you want to learn? You know, and then there's no conflict. You know.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think that's the most amazing thing to get there.
That's really great. Where was your very first solo trip? And when? Where and when? I'm curious.
So I think I did some solo trips when I was, or like I did two solo trips when I was a kid, actually.
Like how old you were?
It was like 16, 17 something. And it was like a language travel in the holidays. My parents booked it for me, so I went like to France and to Great Britain. and I was like there for 1 or 2 weeks, like in a guest family living there, and it was a very crazy experience because at that age I was always used to play video games. I really didn't have much interest of going out at all. I just sat at home all day playing video games. I didn't want to do anything else, and my mother was like,
I didn't know that.
I did.
I would never say that.
It's crazy, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that was very impressive because it really made me leave, of course, all my known places, and I had to do things. I had to go to a specific language school there, and also meet with a lot of other kids who were there the first time. And this was such an valuable experience, and if I was a parent, I would probably do the same for a kid, because it really gets confronted with a certain language. It really learns how to adapt to new social environments, being around new people. Also, living in a guest family was very useful, experiencing a whole full family life. And yeah, I guess these were my first real
solo travels
in that sense. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. After that, I didn't solo travel for a long time, and the very first solo travel I did afterwards. It's so
I'm
crazy.
curious more about it.
Yeah, the very first solo travel I did really was India then.
Oh yeah, my favorite story. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed that you do solo traveling after this first, not very first, but first solo travel. Oh my god.
Yeah.
India story is really interesting,
Different,
unforgettable.
Yes.
And yeah,
but also
how this happened.
So I think I was in India just 2 weeks, but there's just so much stuff that happened. I can probably contemplate on that for the rest of my life in this short time what all happened there. I was very drawn to India because of a lot of spiritual books I was reading before that. I read a lot of autobiographies of yogis, saints, or like people from India. I was just very curious about everything going on there. As a German, it's very different compared to that which we have over here. And yeah, I just thought I need to do everything.
And you've been there, you've been staying in a hostel also, or where are you?
I flew there, and I didn't have a lot of money because it was a rather spontaneous decision, because I did like around holidays, and I had to live with a decision that I break my grandma's heart then because she's always used to me being there at Christmas. And being there, it was very shocking arriving already in the airport in India, in Delhi, because there was so much going on. You know,
It was busy, like.
yes, it was very, very busy, and I didn't really know, because I booked like a yoga teacher training course in Rishikesh, which is like the yoga city in the world. And also, of all the books I've read, this city Rishikesh was mentioned so many times, and I was just so curious to what it is really like. So I got out of the airport, and then there was like this storm of Indian taxi drivers trying to persuade me to get with them, and yeah, one of them won. The drive itself I think will be one of my core memories, because it was so over the place. This guy was also like very Indian. Which is expected for an Indian person.
Yeah, not surprising that much.
And I was so impressed, like driving out of Delhi, and there were like 3 lanes, and in these 3 lanes were 5 parallel cars driving. So it was like centimeter work, you know.
What?
Like they were like honking at everything
Mhm.
all the time. You heard all the time, and like while he was like driving, and he was like texting, and he was like, "Oh, this is my son, by the way." Like like. Look like the road. No, it's okay. Look, this is my son. I'm so proud of him. Like, okay, thank you, sir.
Oh my god.
But yeah, he was a fun guy. In the end, he overcharged me, of course.
Of course.
Of course, being the
Yeah, very
German,
Indian.
first time German,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you're okay.
Sure.
I have no money left. Yeah. Then when I arrived at Rishikesh, it still is a very beautiful city. It's very warm. It's like at the feet of the Himalayas. The mountains get very big there. There's a lot of jungle. The Ganges, like the famous Indian river, goes through there, and it was very fresh. And I put my stuff in the yoga stool. I was welcomed well there, and then I thought I'm gonna celebrate that by taking a bath. And I wanted to, since in all the city in all the books I read, um, this this Ganges river is like a very holy river, and I was like very spiritually absorbed. And I said, okay, I have to bath in this holy river the first time I'm there. And I was just going in there, and looked like for a cool place where nobody was, and I just wanted to climb in there, and I just sat there for a moment and enjoyed like the whole situation. And as I was just about to go in there, there was like this strange log floating next to me, and I didn't really realize what it was. And when I was just finally about to go in, I realized that it was not a log, but it was the remains of a human. And it was a very shocking moment to realize that and to see that. And this moment is still very present for me. Like this realization of just this switch from thinking it's a log to, oh, it's a body. It's very deep in my mind, you know. It's but also it's a place in my head which really wakes me up, you know, which gets me out of my personal mind, and brings me more focus on the things which are really important in life. And even though it was a very crazy experience, I'm very grateful for it happening, because it made me value life more. Because it made me understand more that life will end someday, and every day that day comes closer. And knowing that a lot of the things you may think about or you spend your day doing become very unimportant compared to that. And I think that's one of the most valuable things to understand about oneself or others, that you live your life the way you want to live, and it will end, so make the best with that which you have. Yeah.
I'm speechless. This is so crazy story, and I cannot. What did you do after you realized this is a dead body in the river?
I had to went to a different place and went to the river. Putting it away a little bit.
Go away! I want to take a bath.
Yeah, it was a small bothering thing, but it didn't stop me from doing
bothering thing.
So yeah, that was that.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was my everything happening on the first day, you know. Yes, it was just the beginning, you know.
It was just the beginning. Okay, what happened next?
Like, I think this whole trip itself can be condensed like in hours because there was so much stuff happening. Um, the next thing which happened a few days later was that this yoga teacher training course I was trying to attend was cancelled because the people were not so happy with the way the course was done.
Mm-hmm.
I personally was fine with it and I was really enjoying it, but my majority of the people did other yoga courses and was not as happy with things. So instead, I did like a massaging course, which was amazing. I can recommend to everybody. Go holiday, go on vacation, do some massaging course. You know how to massage, and also you get massaged a lot, so other people learn on you. So it's very valuable.
Perfect.
I can recommend that a lot. It's very cool.
Okay.
Met a lot of very nice people there.
Mm-hmm.
Very good friends. I still think of them fondly. And after I finished the course, of course,
For how long it takes the course?
I think it was like 7 days or some 5, 6, 7 days.
For how long you stayed in India?
In Rishikesh, I stayed like for a week, I think. And in that week, I met so many people telling me, "Oh, Nico, you need to do this. You need to go there and experience that." And I said, "No, I don't want to. No, I don't want any of that." And the most interesting thing was really because the longer I was there, the more I understood I need to go somewhere where I don't know anything about, you know. And I thought, what is something I could do where I know the least things about? So I basically took a plane and just went to a city on the other side of India I had never heard of.
Wow, that's rare.
It was my intention, you know, going somewhere with no knowledge whatsoever, just arriving there and seeing what's happening. Because these books about India I was reading, they were like so inspiring. You know, people like really going out, doing everything they can, like with every cell of their body, you know. And I really wanted to do it similar thing. I wanted to do the full experience of India in this time I was there. And this was the thing which got me up to do it, you know. And so then basically when I arrived there, I was like looking for a monastery, like a temple. So I found like a very nice place which was close to the beach. It was connected to a school. It was in the middle was a big garden which was like a jungle. And I thought, oh, here I want to go. This whole time I was in that city, I saw maybe one person from not India, so I knew I'm at the right place. You know?
This is the real India place.
Exactly, this is the real India, right? Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And at that monastery, I arrived, and I asked the monks, "Can I stay with you?" So they gave me a room, and they of course tested me. Oh, are you really serious about it? And I was like, yeah, let's go, whatever. So they gave me a really nice room, which was basically empty, but it was very freeing having a very empty room. It was very, very nice to not be distracted by a lot of things. And I just spent the whole time just being at the temple, meditating, talking to the monks. This was like my whole experience then. And for the last day, I thought, okay, I'm going to do a whole day where I meditate just the whole day and try to do nothing else, you know. And I got incredible food there. I think the food is one of the things I miss the most about India. It was so good. I basically ate curry the whole day, but it was everything. It's I could bath in there. It's the whole year. You know, it was so nice. And then in the last day, I went like to the beach, and I said, okay, for my last day, I just want to sleep at the beach, you know, and look like for a place where there was not much happening. There is a lot of rubbish in India, so I looked like for a place where I could just rest and listen to the waves in the night. And
You really sleep over on the beach?
yes.
Was it cold?
Ooh, it's like South India, so it's always warm. So
Yeah, that's fine. You
yeah.
didn't need a blanket.
No.
Nice.
Yeah, this was my first solo travel.
Wow, that's really brave decision to go like a first solo trip to India, actually, because that was my second question. Like, what would you recommend other people like for a first experience of solo traveling? I wouldn't say it's India.
No.
I wouldn't recommend India. I'm sorry.
For most people, it's the last thing they do, right?
Yeah. But you see that it can work.
Yes.
It can work. So
yes, you really have to trust yourself and get a feeling for the people and how they are, what they do. Also, when you're
be careful.
When you're in danger,
Yes.
you know, I think that's also very important. But you need some time to explore that in a safe space, which was this yoga place for me. I really felt safe there, and I started understanding everything, and felt that I understand or felt very comfortable once I understood like how Indians, what's important for Indian people, and without that feeling, I wouldn't have done that. But like it was a long work before to explore that, but yeah, I think as I said, I think the very first experience for people to experience solo traveling is not so far away. As we said before, I think there are a lot of nice cities around where you live. It's very nice to maybe get hostel experience at first. I think that's the most important thing to
get used to this life, this kind of life, because this kind of lifestyle it's different compared to like hotel thing, because you meet so many people in the hostel. I mean, because there is always there is a lobby where you can meet the people, and or like a library or kitchen or something like this, and there's or like a rooftop, which was in Tenerife.
Yes.
And then there's zero chance to not know anyone, like not meet anyone. This is like impossible, I think, at least for me. And if, for example, for me, my first experience from a hostel, it was to Mallorca by myself when I didn't know that English that much, and for the first time with a plane, and it was like such a great and hard time. But I was the first 3 days I was in a silent. I didn't talk with anyone because I was so afraid of making mistakes in English, and I was so not trusting myself that much. And after 3 days, I met a girl. We met in the lobby, and then we started talk about things, and she asked me if I want to join on some trip to some beach, and I was like, okay, we can do it. We can do it. So after 3 days of silence, I met a girl, and we did this trip together. It was really a nice time. We also met another guy from Palestine, and then three of us, we went to the beach together. It was such a great experience. I started to believe in myself, and I started to trust myself more in English and in everything. And I get used to meet those people, and I started to like be excited more for this kind of experiences. And so yeah, that was also really a huge thing for me. And this is the beginning of my solo traveling, because I fell in love with this exploring and meeting the people and get to know them actually, like how they work, how what experiences they have, and things like that was such a great experience, and this changed my life. And I think after these experiences, I decided to just I need to have more of this. I have to get know more people and travel around the world. So
Wow.
yeah, that was my start. Yeah, it was really really nice.
What do you think? I think most people can relate if, as you said, that you're silent and you don't
Yeah.
really want to talk to
But
anyone
I
first.
get used to it because I was like saucing the vibe there, you know, and like thinking how it works, and I was just watching the people, how they are talking, how they're acting, and I started to feel more more comfortable. So that is probably the reason why I started to talk with the girl, because before, in the first I couldn't talk with anyone. I was really wanted to be just with myself. I was exploring the and also I've been staying just in one hostel the whole time, and I would do it again if I would do this for first time, for a very first solo trip. I would do like a stay just in one place, and then after some time or second time I can do something more than just staying in one place. So I'm so glad, because right now I cannot imagine myself staying 10 days on one place and not exploring that much, because I need more, because I have some experiences already. So, but for a very, very beginner, I would definitely recommend like just staying in a one place for some time, and then when you gonna feel more comfortable there, you can explore more after. Yeah,
Okay.
that is just my point of view. I don't know. And what would you recommend for a very beginner in this kind of things? Like a first country or city? What do you think it's safer and things like that? What would you recommend?
What he would recommend for a very first solo trip, you're going to find out in the next episode. We will also talk about why Nico got stuck at the airport in Krakow and how he spent his time there, and the most important thing every single traveler should know. You definitely don't want to miss it, and if you enjoyed this episode, share with your friends. See you next time on Positive Chaos.